Explosion Spinoff 1, Prologue, Megumin's turn. Explosion. A person wearing a low hood calmly chanted the spell. In contrast to her calm tone, the power of the spell was devastating. The boom shook the air and was accompanied with a scorching blast. The giant black beast chasing me was easily blown away. And that's not all. My sacred playground was also completely destroyed by the powerful spell, and all the toys that I worked so hard to gather were blown away. Overwhelming power that can sweep away anything. The greatest destructive force that was stronger than any other kind of spell. This massive destruction was dealt by only a single mage. A single shot. What kind of spell could that be? Even the adults in the village have never used something like that before. The hooded person walked toward the mind-blown and dazed me. Are you all right? Were you hurt anywhere? She bent down and peeked at my expression. The robe she was wearing was really rustic, but when she bent down, her plump breasts were displayed prominently. Oh wow, this is awesome. Well, that spell was awesome too, but this is way better. How do I become someone like you? This question just immediately popped out from my mouth. I even forgot to thank her first. The words that my mom kept repeating recently floated in my mind. Our family has always had slender figures. It'd be better if you give up early, something like that. I am not gonna give up, not gonna give up until the very end. With my mind set, I clenched my fist, staring at her plump parts. The hooded person looking at me seemed to smile. What's your name, little girl? I'm Megumin. After a short silence, the one-isen cringingly asked. Is that a nickname? It's my real name. The one-isen fell silent as she tried to calm herself down, and then she said. You want to become someone like me? If you eat more, learn more, and become an archmage, I am pretty sure. Become an archmage, then I can have huge breasts. Become an archmage, then I can have huge breasts. Yes. If you become an archmage, one day you will be able to use that spell. But honestly, I don't really recommend that spell. Seemed like the hooded person said something else, but I've already fallen into the dream of being an archmage. But the person with the hood patted my head while I kept mumbling archmage, archmage, and looked around. Hey little girl, did you see any other adults around here? There should be someone who removed the seal of the tomb. The fragments of the seal are here, and seal shouldn't undo itself. The person with the hood twisted her head and picked up the fragment beside my feet. That person should still be around here. It's a mystery as to who unleashed me. Well, never mind, asking you is not gonna help me figure it out. While she was talking, she moved to the center of the giant hole that was created by the spell. A black beast was lying over there, barely breathing. She put her hand upon the black beast's head. Please sleep a little bit longer, my other half. This world is still too peaceful for you to wake up. The hooded person mumbled like this, and her hand started flashing, seemed like she was absorbing something from that beast. Meanwhile, the beast became smaller and smaller. Finally, it shrank to the size of a cat, and as its shape became a blur, it disappeared. Okay, after this. Oh? What are you doing right now, little girl? I was picking up the toys that were scattered on the ground. Then she turned to me. I am picking up my toys. My family is very poor, these are all I have. Ah? No. These are not toys. They are used for sealing the horrible, evil fiend. They're very important. Huh? I assembled the fragments I picked up, but some of them are missing. Need 3 more pieces. One-san, your spell blew 3 pieces away, can we look for them together? No. This is way too weird. How did you assemble those pieces so easily? This is odd however you slice it. Even those adults, including oracles, were having a hard time cracking them. How did this happen? The person with the hood kept stroking her jaw, and seemed to be really confused. When did you come and play on this restricted area, little girl? Didn't the adults inside the village tell you not to go near here? My mom said that if people tell you it's dangerous there or there's nothing there or don't get close to it, that always means there are treasures hidden over there. What? The person with the hood was frightened and panicked. After that, she stood beside me and put her hand on my head. Well, there are still many things that I don't know, but most likely, I have you to thank. Do you have any wishes, little girl? I might not look like it, but I am actually a mysterious archmage with great power. No matter what kind of wish you have, I can make one of them come true. Wish. Yes, a wish. No need to hesitate, just say it. No matter what kind of. Conquer the world. Sorry, I can't do that. What's with her? This kid might become an amazing person. Don't you have any other wish? The edge of her hood was very low, but I could still see the corner of her mouth twitching. Then turn me into a girl with huge boobs. No, that is impossible too. How old are you right now? You shouldn't be at the age to worry about such matters. Looks like this is not gonna work either. Then turn me into the Demon King. Sorry. I have to correct my words. Unlike such a talented little girl as you, I am just a simple mage with some power. Only able to grant a simple wish. The hooded person apologized to me as a drop of sweat crossed her face. I looked at the fragment pieces on my hand. My toy is still missing 3 pieces. Could you find them for me? Wait. No, I can still achieve a wish that's a little bigger. And don't treat it as a toy. That black beast right now was just resealed. Don't come to this place again, got it? Don't you have any other wish? Something a little bigger. The person with the hood seemed embarrassed and looked at me cravenly. Something a little bigger. Well then. Please teach me that spell. Underneath that hood of hers, the big-breasted one-isan seemed to twitch. What? What did you say? I said, please teach me that spell. I repeated myself to that one-isan. The one-isan made a face more troubled than when I said I wished to conquer the world. More troubled than when I asked for a way to grow my chest. And even more so than when I asked her to make me into the Demon King. That spell. I said it before, didn't I? I really don't recommend that you learn this spell. Fine then, can you at least teach me how to catch some crayfish? I want something for dinner. Don't look at me so coldly. I can teach you that spell if you really want, I just don't want to because no good will come off it. I looked at the one-isan panicking in front of me. What was the spell you used just now? That spell? It's called Explosion, so called the strongest spell. Strongest. It's the most powerful destructive force known to mankind. It doesn't matter if the opponent is a god or a devil, Explosion is the ultimate offensive spell that can destroy anything in the world. Ultimate. However, learning it requires an enormous amount of skill points, and even if you learn it, you won't be able to cast it if you don't have a massive amount of mana. Even if you can cast it, the mana required would leave you unable to move after a single shot. Hey, are you listening to me? Not at all. Please teach me that spell. I want to cast Explosion. I grabbed onto the one-isan's robe and started shaking her. How did this happen? I just wanted to thank her, but I might have messed up her life instead. The one-isan heaved a deep sigh. The next day. The one-isan asked for a day of rest due to having already casted Explosion, so today is the day she promised to teach it to me. Young lady, are you sure you don't want to reconsider? We met up at the tomb, before one-isan took me to an empty plain quite some distance away from the village. No, the only spell I want to learn is Explosion. The one-isan sighed in response. Well, I'm only teaching you the spell. It should take you about 10 years to learn it, so you'll probably give up sometime along the way. Never. I will learn it for sure. Just you watch. Even though she frowned after hearing my answer, the one-isan nevertheless started slowly reciting the chant of the Explosion spell. Right, that's the chant to Explosion. First let's see if you can memorize. Before the one-isan could finish her words, I flicked my cloak and the true crimson god of destruction, Megumin, hereby commands. With my authority, manifest the power to render all creation to ash before me. What kind of chant is that? What's that about god of destruction or authority, or what not? I definitely didn't say any of that. Thus, from that day onwards, I spent my days learning magic from that one-isan whose name I still didn't know. Hey, young lady, I really don't think you should add your own lines to the chant when performing magic. Your lines do sound cool, but that isn't Explosion anymore. I'm a crimson demon, so I want to add some of the crimson demon flair to it. Persuading me not to add my own lines to the chant. Young lady, don't strike a pose. If you make that kind of pose, the spell will end up flying all over the place. The shoemaker's son told me that a crimson demon, who achieves victory, without striking a pose is no true crimson demon. That person is knocked in the head, don't listen to him. Please don't grow up to be like him. Correcting my posture while channeling magic. Look, this is the advanced magic spell Inferno. It's a powerful spell that creates a large blaze and incinerates the entire area. What do you think? Do you want to learn this instead? Not at all. Anyway, hurry up and cast Explosion. I want to see today's Explosion. Young lady, Explosion isn't a firework, you know? Even if you learn it, you can't just set it off whenever you want. No, I will. The One-E-san was frequently left on the verge of tears as she tried to persuade me, who stubbornly clung to explosion. Young lady, advanced magic and teleport is a very potent combination that can deal with most enemies. Explosion. If you use the spell Light of Saber, you can cut apart anything if you have enough mana. Explosion. Okay, instead of explosion, how about learning Blast or Detonate? They're both pretty strong spells in their own right. Explosion. I'm begging you, listen to me. The One-E-san finally snapped and burst into tears as I practiced my cool lines. Afterwards. I don't want to learn anything other than explosion. I don't care how many years it takes. Even if I have to practice until I become an old lady, I will not give up until I learn explosion. Say just what exactly it is about explosion that made you so obsessed with it. I ignored One-E-san's question and handed her a piece of paper. Please use this chant for your explosion today. You changed the chant again? The invocation for a spell isn't for increasing its power, but to control it. If you just carelessly change it, sigh. One-E-san covered her face with her hand after reading what I wrote. However, in the end, she relented and used my chant for her spell. Explosion. A new crater appeared in the field that has since become pockmarked with craters after the past few days. What the? How did the strength of the spell suddenly increase? The One-E-san became flustered after seeing the power of her spell. Of course a cool-sounding chant would increase the power of the spell. Magic isn't that simple. Okay, I understand that you are a genius, but please don't carelessly modify spells from now on, okay? I refuse. Once again the One-E-san appeared to be on the verge of tears. She looks to be a very beautiful lady, but for some reason I think I've only ever seen her when she's about to cry. Then, before the actual training starts, there's something I wanted to show you. But it's really big and scary, and you're a child, so I shouldn't force you to come along. Do you want to? My mom's really scary, so it's fine. One-E-san actually laughed for once. The thing I was talking about is several times scarier than your mother, you know? Really? When my dad went out to borrow money for his strange inventions, my mom froze his body from the head down and threw him out into the forest as he cried. It's scarier than that. Oh right, your mother should also be a crimson demon. If she's anything like you, then she'll probably be just as scary as that. Something that is as scary as Mom. Are we going to see the Demon King, or an evil god? Just how scary is your mother? Why are your eyes glowing? Are you interested in the Demon King, or evil gods? The One-E-san said that with a sly smile, and I nodded. After I defeat the Demon King, I will take on his title, and become the next Demon King. You can't do that. The Demon King is the king of all demon kind. It's not something you can become just by defeating the current king. After saying that, the One-E-san suddenly let out a sly expression. Although, Demon King aside, if we are talking about evil gods, you might have already met one without realizing it. She said, a strange smile playing on her lips. That's impossible. If an evil god got anywhere near the village, the villagers would have captured it and sealed it away to turn into another tourist attraction. I think the Crimson Demons should stop treating divine beings as toys. Deep inside the forest on the outskirts of the village. This place is usually forbidden to me as it contains numerous strong monsters. After One-E-san took me here. Young lady, I think we should go back. It was my fault, please listen to me. The liver and stomach of a one-strike bear are worth a lot of money. I don't know why they're so afraid of us, but this is a wonderful opportunity. If we catch one, we can eat it for dinner. We ended up chasing a pack of cowardly one-strike bears who were running away from us in fear for some reason. I've been eating nothing but crayfish for some time, so the prospect of having a different sort of meat for dinner is really appealing. Wait, I only brought you here because I wanted to teach you that advanced magic is much better for dealing with dangerous monsters. I didn't come here to hunt one-strike bears. No problem. I don't feel like I'll lose to anyone right now. I'm sure my abilities as the god of destruction will appear in the heat of battle. How are the Crimson Demons so? Are they like this from the moment they are born? One-E-san started chanting her magic after heaving a deep sigh. Freeze gust. A white powder burst from One-E-san's hands and enveloped all the one-strike bears, rendering them motionless. Oh, I think that this can be made into a new attraction if we bring it back to village. No way am I letting you do that. This is just to show you that there are other, better, stronger spells out there. Looking at the frozen pack of one-strike bears who could do nothing except whine pitifully, One-E-san let out a rare smile. What I just used was the intermediate magic freeze gust. See? With enough mana, even intermediate magic can be a powerful weapon. This requires much less mana than explosion. If you use advanced magic and intermediate magic strategically, I'm sure you'll be able to become one of the best mages. Young lady, what are you doing? She hurriedly moved in front of me as I approached the pack with a large stick. It's a rare chance to have a herd of high-level monsters lying helpless, so I'm going to finish them off and earn some experience points. The people in the village often use this method to power level. They freeze them up like this and finish them off, and some even raise monsters specifically for this. What in the world? Do the Crimson Demons have any decency at all? These happy days continued for quite a while. But in time, it looked like One-Isen finally started to get restless. Young lady, can I ask you something? What is it? I'm not telling you where the crayfish nest is, so don't ask. Don't worry, I don't want to know that. Say, Crimson Demons have their adventurer cards made when they're born, right? Then, can One-Isen take a look at your card? Hearing this, I tried to hide the card that was originally in my robe pocket. One-Isen once again sighed after seeing this. I knew it. Explosion already appeared in your learnable skills, hasn't it? No, I am a slow learner, so I need a lot more time to learn something like that. One-Isen raised her hand towards me. Paralyze. After she chanted some strange spell, I found that I couldn't move at all. What, you want to have your way with me while I can't move? I will call for help when I get back to the village. When I get back I report to my mom and dad that an One-Isen with big breasts and yellow eyes kidnapped me. Stop. Stop. I just wanted to see your adventurer card. Please don't tell people about me. As much as I wanted to resist, I couldn't move a muscle, and my card was easily taken from me. One-Isen removed her spell once she took my card, and started reading it in a low voice. Explosion is under learnable skills, all right. Huh? The other skills that I showed you are here as well. How can you call yourself a slow learner? You learned all these after just seeing them just once. Seeing me cross my arms and look away, the One-Isen made a troubled expression. Young lady, I still have things I need to do and places I need to visit. Now that I have taught you explosion, it's about time that we part ways. I don't wanna. If One-Isen leaves, I won't be able to see explosions anymore. Hearing that, she bent down to my eye level. Didn't you say you will learn explosion for sure? You'll see it again once you learn it. The One-Isen gave me a gentle smile. Then it's time for us to part. It'd be dangerous to go further from the village, so there's no need to see me off. I don't really approve of this, but in the end, it's your life. I won't stop you, it's up to you to make your own decisions from now. The One-Isen said that as she gazed at the road leading out of the village. We didn't spend that much time together, but I enjoyed every day that I spent with One-Isen. I got to eat great food, hunt powerful monsters, and see many different types of spells. So, okay, it's time to say goodbye. If the day ever comes that you learn explosion magic, I would really want to see it for myself. Then don't forget about me before that day comes. I don't think I could forget about you even if I wanted to. Your unusual name, all the things you did, and your aptitude for magic. Just seeing you makes my heart thump. You should try and lead a peaceful life from now on. The person who casted that spell for me many times, the spell that I fell in love with. My goal is to defeat the Demon King, so I can't promise you that I'll lead a peaceful life, but I can promise you that I'll definitely show you my explosion, so. As if she knew what I was about to say, One-Isen gave me a wry smile. Could I please see One-Isen's explosion one last time? I'll definitely show you my explosion one day. End of Explosion Spinoff 1, Prologue.